Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Click to Client series, where I will be showing you the power of YouTube ads for local service businesses. So if you want to get in front of your ideal customers before they even hit Google, YouTube ads is one of the fastest ways of doing that. Hi, my name is Marcus Svedin, and I've managed over $4 million on both the Google and YouTube ad platforms for local service businesses such as HVAC, roofing, cleaning companies, med spas, dental clinics, all sorts. And I've seen firsthand how powerful YouTube ads can be when they're set up the right way. But here's the key. If you haven't yet watched part 1 of the series on Google search ads, you need to start there first. The reason is that YouTube works best when your search campaigns are already profitable. So to watch part 1, just click the link above or in the description below. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your YouTube campaigns right the first time, every time. So stick around. Now, before you dive into YouTube ads, it's important to understand that there are really two main types of campaigns that you want to run. The first one is a conversion campaign. These conversion campaigns are designed to drive real leads like phone calls or form fills and bring you in new customers, right? And this is where you want to start because it's the lowest hanging fruit. You're showing your ads to people who are already actively looking for the services or the types of services that you provide. Then, once you have your conversion campaign up and running and it's profitable, you can then move on to the second type of YouTube advertising, and that is with brand awareness. And this is where you're going to basically shout your name, your business, your services, whatever it is, to the masses, helping you stop being the best kept secret in town. And that way, people will already know who to call before they even go to Google to do research. I mean, they may go to Google to type in your name to find your contact details, but they will know who to call when they need your services. So let's jump on my screen and we'll start with the first step, which is setting up your conversion campaign the right way. Okay, so here we are. We are inside the Google Ads platform, and this is where we will be setting up our YouTube ad campaigns. Now, before you set up your campaigns here, you need to do two things. A, you need to have your ad already created and uploaded to your YouTube channel. And secondly, you will need to have your Google Ads account linked to your YouTube channel. So I will have videos on both of those in the description below. So check those out. All right, so once you have all that done, next thing you need to do is we want to come over here and we want to click on the blue button. It says create new campaign. All right, new campaign. All right, so what is your campaign objective? So in this case, our campaign objective is going to be leads. So we click on leads. Then we will have goals. Now, if you've already gone through and you've done the Google search campaign setup, you will already have these conversion goals already set up. So you hit add goal, and then you'll see the ones you set up previously. So just add lead form submission and phone call leads. So again, it's the same exact conversion goals that you have set up for your Google search ads. Click continue. All right. Next, we want to go to demand gen. All right. That's our new main way of driving leads through YouTube. We then click continue. Oh, that's different. Okay, so then we come to the screen here, and this is where we go through all of our campaign settings. So your campaign name it however you want to name it, as long as it makes sense to you, that's fine. We will leave our campaign goal as conversions. Conversion goals right here. We'll leave this all the same. I think in many cases, you want to focus on phone calls. So people making phone calls from your websites and calls from your ads. So leave that one selected. Okay, so the next one we have target cost per action. This is a more advanced bidding strategy. Target CPA is really only for when you're getting at least 30 conversions every single week as a minimum. All right. Once you start getting a regular 30 conversions every single week, then that gives you a really good idea of how much conversion is going to cost you. And then you can start optimizing more for that conversion cost. And it can also lead to really fantastic leads in the long run. So eventually we will activate this, but in the very beginning, we want to make sure this is off. Budgets and dates. This is only going to be $50 in the beginning. $50 is really the minimum, right? If you can't really do $50 a day at this point, YouTube is probably not for you right now, but we need to give Google data. And the best way of doing that is by spending at least $50 a day, right? Now, this is super, super important with the start date, right? You want to start it like a couple days from when you create this campaign or a couple days from when you want it to start. The reason being is if I start this today, Google's going to burn through like $100, $120 right, of ad budget because of timing, it's really hard to explain. I'm not going to try to. Just for now, just have your start date be like a couple days after you want this campaign to start. Or like if you say I wanted to start today, I wanted to start tomorrow. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Don't have it start on the day you create this campaign. Start it the next day. Otherwise, you're going to burn through big cash. Locations and language. What I like to do here is enable campaign level location targeting and link targeting, right? I'll do that. I'll then go to enter another location, and then I'll go to advanced search. And this will allow me to do like a radius around wherever my office location is. So what I would do is do radius, and whatever your service radius is, or whatever area you cover, that's what you want to put here. So let's say it's 20-mile radius, and I'll just say I service the greater Orlando area. So I'll just put in here Orlando. You can put a zip code, you can put a street address, you can put your own address, you can do a whole city as a radius around a whole city. Whatever it is, you can get pretty granular with the targeting. But in this case, we'll just do Orlando, Florida, 20-mile radius. Boom. Now you can go and individually put in each county or each city and a whole bunch of cities, but I have found that I get just as good results with just doing a radius. Okay. So we'll do 20 miles radius around Orlando, Florida, hit save. Then we move on to languages. Obviously, we're going to put in, whatever the language, the area speaks, we're going to put that in there. So in this case, it's going to be English. Now, devices. We want to set specific targeting for devices. So we want to show, which we don't want to show on TV screens or tablets. Now, most of your traffic from YouTube is going to come from mobile phones. So you want to make sure that your website or your landing page is optimized for mobile traffic. Okay, so that it looks good on a mobile device, that the load speed, it loads within 3 seconds, right? Give or take, a couple, 0.1 seconds or so, but you want a fast loading speed. If you don't have a fast loading speed, or if your landing page or website looks terrible on a mobile device, it's going to really hurt your campaign, and you're going to waste a lot of money, and you don't want to do that. So make sure that your website or landing page is mobile optimized. Okay. So next we go down here to go to ad group 1. Now here, this is where we're going to set up our audience, is in this ad group, right? So channels, this is really, really, really important. You want to click on let me choose, right? If you do all channels, Google will show it on all this, and we don't want to show it on this. We only want to show it on in-stream videos as in-stream ad. What that means is that your ad will show up during a YouTube video. Okay. That's where you want to show your ad. That's when people are actually watching and paying attention the most, right? They're not like dead scrolling through the YouTube homepage, looking for something cool to watch because they're bored. All right. This is where they found a piece of content that they're watching. They're intent on watching it, and boom, your ad shows up. You have their attention for at least 5 seconds. Okay. So we want to untick all of these. All right. So only have YouTube in stream ticked. Super, super important. Right. So next, we want to come down here to audience, and this is where things get really, really cool. So there are 2 main audiences that we want to target with this specific campaign. And those 2 audiences are people who are searching up specific search terms on Google. And because you already have your Google search campaign created, what you can do is grab all those Google search keywords that you're targeting, and you can put them into here. All right. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And the next one we want to do are websites. People who are visiting specific websites. So for example, people who are visiting your competitor websites or websites that are similar to your competitor websites. And I'll show you how to do that as well. So we come down to here, we click on add an audience. Click on new audience, right? And this one we'll call, just say we're a plumbing company, we'll just call it Google search plumbers, right? Then you come down here, and what we want to do is go to custom segments. Click on that. You'll want to click on new segment. I have a few here already, but click on new segment. Now come here, Google search plumbers, right? Now, people who search for any of these terms on Google. So for example, you want to copy and paste all your search terms from your Google search campaign into here. So it could be plumbers near me. Okay. Oh, plumbers in Orlando. And this could be, whatever location that you service. Or I'll give some 24-hour plumbing service near me. Over here, engineering, emergency plumbing service, 24-hour plumbing services, or just whatever search terms that you're already advertising on, that's already bringing in, it's already profitable, bringing you in a lot of leads. That's what you put in here, right? So we'll leave that alone. And then we click on save, right? And then we come down here. We don't want to worry about any of these other bits right here. Don't worry about exclusions, but we do want to worry about demographics. Okay. So come down to demographics. And obviously, if your local service, depending on what your services are, with household income, I usually just like to do the top 50% and keep unknown ticked. I'm not overly, I would say, convinced how accurate this is, but I find really good results with just the top 50% with unknown ticked. Parents, or about parents. And then again, depending on your service or whatever niche you provide, you want to choose your age. So if you're a plumber, usually they're going to be someone owns a house, so they're usually probably 35 plus, right? Same thing if you're like an electrician or a cleaner or something like that, they're going to own a house, they're going to be over 35. So usually this 35 to 65 mark, this is where I find the sweet spot is. Okay. After that, we hit save. Okay, so now that's added this specific audience to our campaign. So what we do later on is we also want to create an audience and go out to an audience that visits specific websites, people who are visiting specific websites. But we will do that in a different ad group. Okay, we don't want to combine them together with the same campaign, but there'll be two different ad groups. And I'll show you how to do that once we finish this campaign setup. So moving on, optimized targeting. We want to unselect optimized targeting. What this is saying is basically Google saying here, we will advertise to people in this group right here, but we also want to advertise to people outside of this group. Okay. We don't want that. Okay. We only want to advertise to people who are inside our specific audience that we have chosen. Okay. So make sure that's unticked. Once that's unticked, we then go down here and we go to add one. All right. So, and this is where we're going to create our actual ad for the campaign. So at this point, you need to make sure you've had your Google Ads account connected to your YouTube channel. That way we can link them. So you need to click on video ad, right? And then your ad name. I've pre-filled a lot of these already just for streamlining sake. So I just call it lead gen ad. You can name it whatever you want. Put your funnel URL here. I don't worry about putting a screenshot on my landing page, my ads. It's not necessary. What I'm gonna do is you want to create at least 5 different ads. Okay. There's a way of doing it. There's a way of creating a bunch of different ads really, really quick. I'll put a link in the description to the video that shows you how to do that. So check that out. But you want to add 5 videos to this specific ad. So we want to do one. So we'll do, so these are obviously on ads, the content pieces from my channel. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, it's YouTube ad scripts. Perfect. Save. Okay. Yep. So we'll make sure to add all those. Okay. So we're here where it says choose where your videos show. Leave that alone. We've already done that. I found that if you do this as well as the previous one we showed on the campaign settings, it stuffs up and you get some funny results. So just leave this turned off for now. Okay. Add your logo. Here, we don't want to get shorter versions of our videos. We do want to get vertical and square versions of our videos. Okay. So that'll help with sizing for, different size phones and whatnot. So we want to get vertical and square versions of videos. Leave that ticked. Okay. Now headlines, I've already pre-filled all of these. So here you want to fill in every single one of these. Okay. Every single one, all 5. There should be a button here to say add headline, right? Click, 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 you get 5. Add a long headline, click, 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 you get 5. Same thing with descriptions, okay? Now, you can sit there and you can try and figure out how to do it all or whatnot, okay? Or what you can do is go to ChatGPT, right? And you can just type in ChatGPT, say, hey, I'm this type of service. Here's my website. I need 5 headlines that are, no more than 40 characters long. I need 5 of them. Create and boom, 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 boom. Right. So it'll go over your website and it'll spit out a bunch of different headlines for you. Same thing with long headlines, same thing with descriptions. That's exactly what I did here. I literally did this in like 5 minutes. Okay. Or you can do the long way and it'll take you an hour. Okay. ChatGPT is amazing. So yeah. So you want to fill out every single headline, every single long headline, and every single description. Okay. A lot of your descriptions, you can get a lot of these are pulled from another website. Okay, from another plumbing website that I found. All right. So once you have all of those filled in, okay, you then have call to action text. Okay, so that'll be this button right here. Obviously, you can do learn more. Learn more works great. Get a quote, depending on what you want them to do. Usually it's going to be get a quote. Your business name. So whatever your business name is, you want to put that there. Okay, and then after that, we hit on go to review. All right, so then we come to the review your campaign page. So I just like to go through all this and just double check to make sure everything looks okay. So if it's a channel, we make sure we're only showing up on YouTube, and stream and optimized targeting is off. Those are two main big ones. So once that's done, we come in here and we hit publish campaign. All right, so then we come to our main overview page. And so what I do is I'll to the campaigns, go to campaigns, click on it, and then this is our new campaign that we just set up, right? So that is the first campaign that we want to set up. The next campaign I'll show you to set up next is the brand awareness campaign. Okay, so the last type of YouTube campaign you want to run is a brand awareness campaign. Now, the only time you will want to run this campaign is once two things have happened. Uh, your Google search campaigns are rocking and rolling, and your YouTube conversion campaign is rocking and rolling, and both are profitable. And so when you want to run this type of campaign, this is when you just want to go out to the masses, just go out to everyone in your area. Okay. Now, with this type of campaign, you don't need to spend a ton of money every single day. You can if you want, obviously, but I run campaigns for businesses on $5, $10 a day for this type of video campaign. Okay. Very easy to set up. So what you want to do is go to new campaign, and then you want to go to awareness and consideration. Click on that. So we have here, we have reach, video views, and YouTube subscribers engagements. Okay. We want reach. We want to go out to as many people as possible in our area. Then we go to video, and then we want to, there's a number of things here. There's two only video reach campaign types you want to run. Okay. Efficient reach, which is basically you're going to get as many views as possible for the money you want to spend. Okay. That's a really, really good one that works well. Another one that works really well is ad sequence. Okay. So what ad sequence is, it's basically you have 3 ads, and those who have already watched ad 1 can then watch ad 2. And then those who watch ad 2 then watch ad 3, and then they just cycle about. So you say within like a 30-day period or a 2-week period, whatever, they go through this whole sequence. So if you have multiple ads, okay, that works really well. But I think for this particular tutorial, we're just gonna go through efficient reach. Okay. So we click on efficient reach, click continue. All right. Name your campaign, whatever you want. Now, right here, ad formats, we want to untick short ads, and we want to untick in-feed ads. All right. We only want to show up on in-stream ads. And these are as I said before, these are the type of ads that show up at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of a YouTube, like a long form YouTube content piece. So not like a YouTube short. So that is the type of ad format we want you to go on. Bit strategy, we can only pick target CPM, so target cost per 1,000 views. Or 1,000 impressions, sorry. Now budgets, if you have a specific campaign budget you would spend, you can do that. I just do daily. You can do as little as $5 a day. Okay. I would do $10 a day minimum, but you can do this $5 a day. It just depends on, how many times you want people to see your ad, how many people you want to see your ad. It depends how big of an area, the population is in your area. So with the start date, you can start this straight away. I know with the conversion campaign, we said like start the next day, but with this particular one, you want to start it. You can start it on the day you create it. There's no worries at all. Networks. Okay, so this is really important. We do not want to show up on the display network. So the display network is basically websites that are on the Google network, and your video can show up as an ad on someone else's website. And we don't want that. We just want to be shown just on YouTube. And then we'll get rid of Google TV. All right, so we just want to show up just on YouTube. Obviously, locations, just pick your locations. Again, I like to do a radius. So if I'm a plumbing plumbing industry, I'm in Orlando, I'll just do Orlando. It's safe. Now, languages, obviously English. Related videos, I don't worry about related videos. Now, devices, we definitely want to do this. Device, we want to set targeting for specific devices, and we want to untick tablets and TV screens. We just want to show up on computers and on mobile phones. Frequency, I like to do, I like to cap impression frequency, and I only like to show people my ad 3 times a week. Okay. You can do, once a week, twice a week. You can do once a day, twice a day if you want. But I think I found that the sweet spot for my video campaigns, whether it's conversion campaigns or whether it's these brand awareness campaigns, 3 times a week is like the sweet spot. So that's that. Our group analysis, we're going to do our audiences. Obviously, our audience can be broad. So I just leave all this open except for demographics. I go to demographics. Now, You may be different, but I usually only like to advertise people with money. Depending on what your product is, depending on what your services is. I mean, if your service is made more for younger people, then yeah, for sure, go with 18 plus. But usually I'll go with 35 plus. Okay. And I literally just leave it at that. So I'm going to target anyone 35 years or older in the Orlando area. Okay. Okay. So we come down here. So this is where you can choose where you want your ad to show. So you can say it only shows up on certain keywords. Now, if you're going to do keywords, you want them to be long tail keywords. I'll do this on another video. It's a bit more in depth, but long tail keywords, topics are very broad. So I try to avoid topics. You can do placements. So if you have a whole slew of placements that you want to show your ads on, like specific channels, specific videos, you can do that. However, you need to understand is that Google needs volume. Okay. Google needs volume of eyeballs in order to have your ad show. So if you only have like one channel or, a few videos or even a few channels, your ad will not run. Okay. And if you're saying, oh, I only want to show up on these videos that are, so I'm going to show up on this area of Orlando, Florida, and only on these videos in that area, that's very, very limited. Okay. So unless you have like hundreds and hundreds of channels and thousands of videos, um, I would just leave this blank. So for this specific video ad, we just want to show up to the masses in that area and to people this age, and we don't want to have any content, like any content I'm targeting. All right. Otherwise your ad won't show. Okay, so next we have our ad creation area. So then what you want to do is you want to grab your video ad and you want to paste it in there. Okay, so this is another video of mine, the content piece. But this is what your ad will look like on a mobile phone, and this is what your ad will look like on a desktop. So what I'll do is I'll quickly pause the video. I'll pre-fill all this out and we'll go through it. Okay, so I've pre-filled everything out. And so basically what you want to do is you want to have a call to action. So you want to click the call to action box here, and you want to have like learn more, or you can have get a quote. I'm gonna get a quote here somewhere as well. Get quote. I'll see get quote here. Anyways, you can choose one of these, or you can write your own in, or you can just do learn more. Okay. So then you have your headline. So then, like, Orlando's number one plumbers, long headline. So flash reliable. Literally, what you can do is just go to your Google search ad campaign, and you can grab one of those headlines and long headlines and descriptions, plug them in here, or to your your YouTube conversion campaign, and you can just plug and play those headlines and long descriptions and whatnot in here as well. Okay, so let's just copy and paste. Keep it super simple, super easy, super easy. All right. So you want to fill those out. Now let's create a companion banner, computers only. So your YouTube channel will have a channel banner. Okay, you want to get one of those made. What happens is this companion banner only shows up on computers. So see this part right here? That is the companion banner. Okay, so Google will grab that from your YouTube channel, or you can give Google something else. All right. I usually just use my YouTube channel banner. That's works super simple, super easy. All right. You won't see that on mobiles or cell phones. You'll only see them on computers. Ad name whatever you want. And then your asset optimization, get vertical or square version of your videos. Yep. So I like to have that ticked. It just helps with different sized, however, which way the mobile phone is faced, whether it's, vertical or horizontal. It helps with that. Okay. Okay. So now your bid. So we're going to bid on cost per 1,000 impressions. Okay. So depending on your targeting, depending on your services, this cost per 1,000 impressions will be different. So yours may not be $6.15. It may be $1.15. It may be $17. Who knows? But what you want to do is I don't normally do this, but I like to apply whatever they say here. So I'll say $6.15. Okay. And that's it. So then what I like to do next is I'll just go through and I'll just make sure everything looks good on here. Starting CPM. Yep. YouTube. Yep. Location's good. Yep. That's all good. Devices. Yep. Computer. I just like just to double check, right? Because this is this is money here you're spending, so you don't want to waste it. All looks good. Yep. I'm not too sure what happened there. Yep. Okay, great. And then I hit create campaign. Okay, so then you come to this screen that says, congratulations, campaign's ready. We then click on to continue to overview. And then voila, we'll have our new video right here. So if you want to see it in the campaign level, Just go to campaigns, campaigns, click on campaigns, and then boom, there is our new video campaign. Now, I just need to remind you guys that all of this, whether it's Google search or whether it's YouTube advertising, it means absolutely nothing if your website or landing page are not optimized for conversion. Okay. So in the next video of this series, my Click the Client series, I'm going over website optimization and how to best lay out and all the copy and images that need to go onto your website to help you generate more leads from the money that you're spending on Google. So I will see you in the next video.